Welcome to another installment of the Socially Distant Podcast. I'm here. I'm Geeb with my co-hosts, Kayla and Josh. Today we got a good episode for y'all, and we also have a very special guest co-host here today. The host of the Innovators Anonymous podcast, my man, Colin Waitsman. What's up, my guy?
What's going on, y'all? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Anytime, bro. Anytime, bro. Colin, you want to start off by telling the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, man, for sure. So Colin Waitsman, graduated from Mount St. Mary's University, where I ran track for 4 years. I was on the football team in high school with these guys. Well, not all of us on the football team, but that was fun. Then, I started up working with the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia 76ers, which is where I'm at right now. Really cool. Get to interact with a lot of the players pretty often. So get to get pretty close to some really awesome athletes. And just recently I started up my new podcast as well. I saw you guys hopping on the train and I'm like, dang, like that's something I'm really interested in. So started off mine as well, called Innovators Anonymous, and here we are today. So far it's been pretty cool though.
That's what's up, bro. So as you know, we all going through the same thing right now, this little quarantine shit and all that. It's crazy. It's definitely unprecedented. So tell us a little bit about your experience throughout this whole situation.
Bro, I'm dummy bored. There's just nothing to do right now. I'm really finding myself doing new things. I've started up this podcast. Like you guys did the same thing, starting off a podcast. And I'm also running a lot more and being more active and trying to work on my physical self, because I wasn't as happy with it as I wanted to be. So that's what I've really been trying to do, really work on, getting there mentally and getting there physically. Because there's never going to be this much time that we're going to have to work on that. So that's what I've been focusing on a lot.
So how have you managed to stay productive during this time? Because I know it's been a challenge for everybody to find new ways to stay productive. So you said you've been running, but anything else keeping you productive?
Yeah, for sure. So my mentality is kind of an asshole mentality, but I'm gonna let you know, it's I just want to be better than people. It's I really get that Mamba mentality, or that Jordan in the the documentary that we just were watching with what is The Last Dance, where he's just I just want to be better than people. It's that's just kind of how I feel. It's a real jerk thing to say, and I recognize that, but it's it's real. So I try to I'm running because hey, there's other people in my friends group and they run. I want to run more than you. It's you lift, I want to lift more than you. Oh, you can do this. I want to do this better than you. It's it can get real toxic sometimes, but that's definitely my mentality for things. I don't know how y'all been what y'all motivation is. I'm not very good intrinsically and just thinking about being better self. I'm more extrinsic, and I want to be better than other people, which can be kind of bad when it comes to team sports and stuff like that.
No, I feel that. That's a good mindset to have. You gotta, if you just want to be better than everyone else, like you said, Kobe, MJ, everybody.
No, I feel you. I'm a little bit different though, because I think I want to be my best me for me, but also at the same time, if it's competition involved, I don't worry about the competition. I just worry about how I can do the best possible that I can do, and I just let the chips fall where they may. It's I think it's a different approach, but you can still get the same results.
For sure. It's if you don't focus on getting better yourself, then you're not going to be able to beat other people. You're not going to be a better, if you don't worry about that, then you're going to fall behind. So I definitely feel how that's extremely important, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So going back to the podcasting thing, you did say you started up the Innovators Anonymous podcast. So can we talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, man. So it's primarily focused on just talking to different successful people or different groups across a wide variety of topics. So sports, music, science, teaching. Recently had one of my favorite guests that we had on recently was Kevin Haney. Have you guys had, all three of you had him at some point?
Yeah, we've all had a
I never
mentor.
had him, but he was
Oh,
like
you didn't?
no, but he was the first person like I talked to when I transferred to Strathaven. So like
Yeah,
he's always been
he
like
was
part of my
he's
life.
he was great. Like, so it was really awesome to like talking to him about what it means to like have role models, and what it's like to go through a lot of adversity and come out the other end and things like that. So we're doing all things like that, but then we've also interviewed, or in the future we have some plans for like athletes that are talking about what it's like to be a professional athlete or a collegiate athlete, or people in the music world. So we got a wide kind of like view on things, which is it's kind of opening my mind to new stuff that we can do.
Yeah, if we touching on Haney a little bit, Haney was definitely like one of those people that like made my high school experience better. And it's not that many teachers I can say that about, but I definitely think that top 2 teachers that I've ever had in my life.
Easy.
Not even just classroom wise, because like he's great at what he does as a teacher, but I think like just as a man and as a dude, like that's somebody you want to learn and pick up from.
Oh yeah. Like he's just like a great guy. His Twitter's funny too. Y'all see him on Twitter?
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter. Like the whole like sign stealing from his yard shit
That
was
was
hilarious.
I was just about to say that. That was hilarious.
Like I watch his Twitter closely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's a cool guy. Like, so like that's like he's been someone that I look up to as like, hey, what do I want to be as a guy, as a man, and what's like important to myself. And it's like, hey, I want to focus on myself. I want to focus on my family and in getting that better. And he's really showed the importance of that. And for me, through public speaking, because I didn't have him for English, and which is kind of the reason why I had this podcast, and because of public speaking and getting better at being able to talk to people. So he's been a huge influence in my life.
So what are your goals for your podcast?
That's a good question. I don't even really know. Like I'm not sure. Like I would love for it to go, obviously love for it to be like huge and get a ton of streams. Like I'm sure like you guys would as well. If I'm looking at like my goals, it would be, I want to be providing some type of content for people that others like genuinely enjoy. So like I want to be able to like have these interviews with people where they're like, yeah, I really liked spending an hour of my time, or 30 minutes or whatever, like listening to this person's life story. And I think that, and hopefully they'll think that I did a good job, or a good enough job interviewing them. So, I mean, I guess that's the goal, just to be able to get better at this and be able to iron out the edges and produce something that, is actually interesting.
Yeah. Like the thing about this whole thing is like you definitely get better from your first episode, and then every week you just get better and better. Because I did go back after like after our 6 week point. I think I went back and listened to the first episode, and I was like, I can't believe like in 6 weeks we came like this much further than we were like when we started.
That first
it's crazy.
It was like unbearable to listen to. Like I listened first like 2 seconds, and I'm like, nah, this is not it. Like, let me go. Like,
it was cringy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy to be able to see the growth that it's been in just for you guys, like what, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, what, like 2 months, compared to hey, where are you guys gonna be in 4 months, 5 months, a year from now? Like I'm super excited to see that point, and like I'm super excited for when I get there as well. So I think that pursuit of just getting better is something that's huge. And so yeah, I can't wait to see the changes that is going to be in a couple months from now.
Yeah, like I think you got a really dope concept, because a lot of people don't know you, but like you are one of like the more intellectual people that I know. Like you're a thinker, and I think I would like to just like hear your perspective on a lot of things that you may talk about on your podcast, because I think that you may be able to provide like a different point of view because you're a different kind of thinker.
I appreciate it. Like that's definitely something that my parents have really instilled in me pretty well, where it's like, hey, make sure that you get all of the points of view of something and make sure that you understand what you're talking about before you say something, because you don't want to look stupid and say something like ignorant or dumb. I mean, there are times for that. Like whenever I'm talking trash on the basketball court, I'm saying something ignorant and dumb. Like like that's one thing. But if it's like, yo, we're talking about like an important social issue, like, whoa, let me pump the brakes and like figure out what I'm talking about before I say something.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of the things that we kind of started to figure out. Like, nothing that we say on here is going to ever be politically correct or like factually 100% like thorough or anything like that. But when we do know when to take ourselves serious, and which is fine, which is cool, but like we don't want to do that all the time. But there's definitely a time and place for it.
Yeah, like I think that it's pretty important to be able to like let loose. Like you don't want to have to be thinking about every single thing that you're about to say all the time. Like you're going to go crazy if you do that. Like you just got to like, cuz most of the time if you think with your heart or your gut, you're going to be saying something that's right or something that you believe in anyway. So it's like if you're just wasting time overthinking that stuff. And that's why I love like what you guys are doing, cuz it's so much like, hey, we're talking about what's important to us. Like we're talking about like interesting issues and interesting things to us, and that's why I like it's just so genuine for what you guys are doing, which is awesome.
I really appreciate that you noticed that, because like the first time that me and Josh even like talked about the concept, and like when we were like talking to Kayla about coming and joining us and doing a podcast with us, like authenticity was the main thing that we stressed. Like we just wanted to be as real and as genuine as possible, and I appreciate that you noticed that.
No, yeah, it's really awesome. Like I like what you guys are doing so far, and I'm looking forward to where you're gonna be in the next couple months. But yeah, it's dope.
Appreciate that. So let's get into your athletic career. You said you ran D1 track, which is impressive as shit in itself. So just tell us about like I guess your athletic journey.
Yeah, so ran track, started off in middle school. It's actually interesting because I played baseball for pretty much my whole career. I know it's up to 6th grade or whatever, super long for sure. And then I actually got cut from my 7th grade team. I still to this day am like, I still think it's politics how I got cut. Like I'm still mad as hell to this day about getting cut from a 7th grade team. But that was like the best thing that ever happened to me. So got cut. Still think it was because of some politics. Don't want to name names, but wasn't too happy about it. And then Coach Taylor, or Mr. Taylor, who was my guidance counselor at the time, was like, yo, let's run track. Like, you're fast. Like, no need to be down in the dumps. We need you doing something. So started running track, and I was like, dang, like, kind of good at this. Like, I was doing pretty well in 7th grade. And so went off into doing it 8th grade as well. Got asked to come back to the baseball team, actually, by the coach. And I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, you had your chance. Like, I'm not going to do it now. Started running in high school, found some success with pole vaulting from one of the seniors that was on the team when I was a freshman. Like his dad was like, you can be pretty good at this, like you should really look into it. And I was like, for sure, like let's do it. Started doing pretty well, ended up qualifying for states a few times, qualifying for districts a few times, and ended up getting a couple scholarship offers from a few different schools. Decided to go to Mount St. Mary's, which is a really small D1 school in the middle of Maryland. Not the middle of Maryland, near Harrisburg. Went out there, did pretty well. Ended up getting a few medals and qualifying for some regional tournaments. We won our conference title one time, which was the first time in 20 years. Super dope. And ended up actually trying a little post-collegiate work, realized, nope, that's not for me. That's way too much. And, here we are. But it definitely, like, defines who I am, like, all that running. No, that was a whole lot, though. But, yeah, it was a great journey. I loved it.
I just want to inform.
Go ahead, bro.
I just want to inform the listeners. But Colin was being way too humble in high school. Humble. This nigga was nice as shit, bro. Like he didn't call it, like he was winning. He was running shit, bro. Like he was really nice, bro.
My man would go from pole vaulting. He would get into the 100, win that shit, then come back to the pole vault, finish, win that shit, and then he'd be like, "Oh, you need me to do anything else? Nah, all right, I'll see ya."
then,
how he
then he might even do the 4x1 or the 4x4 just if they needed him. Like, bro was really nice, bro. And
I came from basketball, and like my first like day, whatever. This man out here just. I'm like, oh no, this shit different.
we had like people on the track team that would like just show up for meets and like do their thing and everything. But like Colin was really the main one that was out there every day, putting in the work, doing it. Like he was a good leader on the team. Like he kind of showed me how to work in track. And like I was using track to kind of get better at football, and I was, you know what I mean? I wasn't good at it, but like I did like learn how to put the work in and like learn how to get better from Colin.
Yeah. No, y'all were like some pretty good what's it called? Like pillars of the team. Like you guys definitely were able to like listen, and you did work and did stuff that was hard, which I can't say for everybody. Like not everybody's willing to do these 200s or these 400s or, you know, whatever it is. Like not everyone's willing to do it. My favorite memory though was Josh. We were it was Ridley, and it was super cold. We had we did the, what was it, 2 claps and a Ric Flair. We started that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that was cool. I still to this day remember doing that.
I remember that meet. That meet was cold. I think that was my first meet coming from basketball. Like I'm from basketball. Like, we stay indoors all the time. I hated the cold. Yeah. I'm out there shivering. I got like jacket on, lights on, everything, just trying to like stay warm, and I couldn't stay warm for shit. But yeah, I definitely remember that person. I think we won. Did we win?
Yeah, we won. Yeah.
I think the day I realized that Colin was like different was the day where we had practice, but none of our coaches were able to make it for whatever reason, and they sent Colin a hard workout, and like he told us what to do, and like a lot of people dipped. But it was like a few of us that stayed and did it was like, was it like 2150s or something like that?
Yeah, it was we were outside.
Something crazy like that.
Yeah, on the football field, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like in between indoors and outdoors or something like that. Like it was still cold out a little bit, but it wasn't like anything. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, a lot of people that's where I kind of been getting my mentality from, where it's like a lot of people just don't want it as much as they say they do, and it's like that's fine. Like you don't have to go crazy with something, but I just kind of like strive and like, hey, I want to just be as good as I can, and that was like definitely going at it on the track was where I could do it, because it's just like just run, like that's it, just move your feet.
Yeah, my mentality is like, all right, if I see what the best people are doing, why would I not like try to use their formula? Because like when I saw that like you and Amir stayed, like I was like, because I was thinking about leaving too. I was like, nah, 2150s, fuck that. But then I was like, damn, they staying. So I was like, they better than me. Like they miles better than me, and they don't really need to do that. But I was like, yeah, bro, let me just stay and get it in. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but
it never is. Like whenever you do workouts, like you think it's going to be so much worse than it is. And because it's like your brain gives up before your body does. And so it's like your mind knows what you're afraid of. So it's going to make it so much worse than it actually is. I mean, like, that's why, like, when you just push through and you actually do something, like you feel so much better afterwards, because you're like, damn, I didn't give up. And I really thought I was about to.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I'm sure all y'all have that.
You can apply that to life too. Like you just, shit might be hard for the moment, and you just gotta push through.
So much stuff. Sure. Like I'm sure, like, you're like, I don't want to edit this video. I don't want to edit this podcast. You'd be like, dang, but you're gonna do it, and then you'll be like, dang, I'm happy I did that. It's like I feel good about it. Like same type of thing.
I think it's definitely been one time where I was like, dang, I don't really feel like doing this. I don't even know why. It was just like, I guess I was just feeling lazy, but I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and get this in. You know what I'm saying? And once you start to do it, like you realize why you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, like the goal is to like put out the best product, whatever you do. Yeah. Not just podcasting, not just sports, but in life, you want to continuously give your best, put your best foot forward.
Yeah. If you're like, your mentality is gonna like dictate how well you're gonna be. Like my mom's always said, like if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right. Like don't half-ass something. Like
Yep.
like if you're gonna, it's like, hey, I'm gonna end up doing this. I'm gonna do this podcasting thing. Like I'm gonna take my time out of my day for X amount of hours a week and do this podcast. Well, then do it right. If you're gonna do it, like shit. I mean, y'all got the microphone. Yeah, like y'all put in the work. Like not a lot of people would be willing to do that. And like, you guys are doing it, which is awesome. Like if you're gonna do it,
yeah, bro. Yeah, we definitely touched those before. Like it's not just like getting on the mic and hitting record. Like it's a lot that goes on before and after. Like, so tell us a little bit about your process as far as like how you go about it.
Yeah, so my process for, going about podcasts, and it really starts a week or 2 weeks ahead, sometimes even a month. I guess for the one guy, yeah, a month, but I'll ask people that I think I'd be interested in talking to, like a couple weeks in advance, saying like, hey, John, I'm really interested in what you do. Like, I think your story is a pretty cool story. Would you be willing to, get started on my podcast? And they're like, yeah, sure, why not? Or they're like, nah, not really, whatever it is. And so those conversations start way ahead of any recording being made. Then once they say yes, we put up a date for when we're gonna talk. I usually try to do them on Sundays or earlier on in the week, since I post on Thursdays. And then once we get that, in between that week of time when I have them on and before the recording, I'm doing all my research. So like I'm figuring out like everything about them, so I can make sure I'm asking important questions that like people would care about. And so I do all that. And then, when it actually comes ahead, like the day before or that day, like I'm doing sound checks, making sure everything's working. Like I had a lot of issues with my mic earlier on with a couple of the podcasts, which was really annoying. But yeah, I'll do all that. And so that's the process of before the podcast. Then after, I mean, shoot, it can take me like 4 or 5 hours to just edit 1 hour worth of podcasts. Like it's not like, oh, it just takes 30 minutes. It takes a long time. So I usually do that editing, add my music or whatever, and then keep my fingers crossed. And when I click post, and hope people like it. So, I mean, that's kind of what my process looks like.
This is definitely the easiest part of podcasting, is the actual talking, to be honest.
For sure. Yeah. Like it's the part that you like to do. Like nobody likes to edit unless you're an editor. Yeah. Like that's annoying. Yeah. No, the research ain't fun. It's like, let's just talk. Like let's just conversate.
Yeah, for real. So before we kind of shift gears, just tell us like about what you got going on right now, like life wise and career wise, and all this all this other stuff like that.
Yeah, so like I said, being an athlete, really loved being around sports, and so that's kind of where my career path has taken me. So I'm currently working with the New Jersey Devils in their sales department, so trying to help people find what best ticket packages fit for them. Not really glamorous work, but I get to come to the Prudential Center, one of the best arenas in the world, every single day. We get to watch. Sometimes like our entrance is the exact same entrance that all the players come through. So like we'll see some of the guys on the team walking through the hallways. We get to talk it up with them a little bit. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, obviously with what's going on with the world, it's a little difficult to sell stuff, but we're just trying to keep our hopes high. And when things start turning around, I mean, those stadiums are going to be packed with people that are like excited to see what's going on.
Who have you met from like either the New Jersey Devils or the Sixers?
Yeah, so on the Sixers side, because you guys are being from Philly, you guys probably know a little bit more about the Sixers. Yeah. So I've actually done a couple really cool events. So during the fall, this past fall, we had what's it called, Thanksgiving thing for the players and their families. Mm-hmm. So all of like every single player, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Matisse, like all the players came to this event that was held at our facility, and including the owners, like really high ranking partners. Like there was so much money in that room. It was crazy. And so we're like, all of the people were coming in, and they have really cool like dining and music and whatever. And so I was actually the guy that was taking the players and whatever, and all the families of the players to and from their cars. And so my favorite interaction that I had was with Ben Simmons. We were going from the tent to his house, and I'm not his house, his car. And I'm like, yeah, what car is it that you have? He's like, oh yeah, the like the gray Porsche. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's levels to this. like it humbled me so quickly. I was like, dang, we're the same age, and you're hopping in a Porsche, and like I'm hopping in my Ford Fusion. Like there's levels to this. So like it's just super cool being able to see like all the players, like most of them, like every single one that I've met actually is like super nice, like because they realize like, hey, I got some talent, and I might as well be nice to the people that I'm working with, and yeah, they're all really cool guys. Like it's been super awesome working alongside them.
That's what's up, man. So what do you plan to do? Like what's your goal for like your career in the future?
Yeah, so my big time goal is I want to eventually be a like I want to run a professional league. So I just like a Roger Goodell, but like I have some ideas. I don't want to say too much about it because you got to move in silence. People start taking your stuff, but
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I have some ideas of like some professional leagues that I wanna begin. I've been doing a lot of research on how to start those things and like where I should go. But that's my long term goal. Like so, within the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years or so, like that's what I kind of hope to do. Because like being in sales is great. So, but I do see something as I move forward. I want to kind of get on that end of things. So, not sorry, couldn't give you too much of it, but that's kind of my idea
Yeah,
where
no.
I want to be.
I definitely seen you touch on it on Twitter a little bit, and like I definitely think it's a cool idea what you want to do. So that's definitely something I'll keep a lookout for in the future.
Oh yeah, like that's if I can. It's going to take a lot of work, but I'm excited because I think there's an opportunity to grow, and it's something that's a challenge, and I'm up for the challenge. I'm ready to do it.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our little weekly updates portion of the pod,
Mhm.
and we're gonna start off with Zion. He's having like some little dispute with this marketing agent that he used to work with, and now she's coming out and saying that he was given unfair incentives to go to Duke, and we all know what that means. That was just like probably a duffel bag that got about 100,000 in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Maybe more. And a house in Durham for his family. And I know that three of us are or were college athletes, which so it kind of hits close. So I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that.
You want me to go first or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
got
go first.
All right. We all know every college, like most high college, like D1 athletes for basketball at least, are getting a bag from some way somehow. If it's not, it might not be like Zion, like Zion's like getting money or a house and all that stuff. It's just it's like it's other things like, oh, your mom, we'll pay your mom's bills. Oh, we'll do this. Like it's not nothing new. And the fact that he's in the NBA now, he's on the Pelicans and stuff like this doesn't even like really matter. Like she's just trying to like get some money, I guess, out of it.
She was salty that he said, "Yeah, I don't want to work with you anymore and work with someone else." So she's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to expose him and get some money out of it."
Yeah, exactly.
Like every
So to
college
my
ball
knowledge,
paid. What? Yeah.
Go ahead, Gabe.
so to my knowledge, like she works for a smaller agency which isn't certified by the Players Association, and it's not certified in the state of North Carolina, which is where Zion is from and where Duke is. So they were able to kind of get out of the contract, which wasn't valid anyway because he was still an amateur at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided that he wanted to go with CAA, which for those who don't know is like one of the bigger like agencies overall, not just sports. Like they represent you. It's huge. They do everything like entertainment. Like they even got like a books department for like authors. So is big. And
Yeah.
Zion, I guess, wanted to have that that kind of backing.
Yeah. Like I mean, that's why I think it's so stupid, because it's like, if he worked with her still, you think that she's exposing him for this?
Not at all.
No. Like,
Not at all.
she's the one that got him this money. Like
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
that she probably set all that up, and like she's just upset that he's working with someone different, and it's like, that's some petty shit, I think. Like, I don't know. That
And
one.
it's really nothing that she can do, because Zion not going to come forward and incriminate himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even if she did say, I got it, what's she gonna do? Like, what's gonna happen? He's not in college.
Yeah, and Duke's not going to say nothing, because then Duke's going to get fined and all that. So it's just like a pointless thing to even come out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a lot about nothing. Like, it's going to go under the rug and everything like that. But I just think that it's a bigger conversation to be had. Like, why shouldn't Zion be able to take a couple bags of cash if he's out there putting his hard work, blood, sweat, and tears on the court? Like, I don't understand. Like,
that's why you might as well make this like a legal thing, so you can know what's going on then. Like, why don't you have, like, athletes are allowed to make money off their own name, or something like that? Like, I can understand the difficulties of schools actually paying athletes, because like a lot of schools wouldn't be able to afford that, but you should at least be able to make money off of like your own name and likeness. Like, if they were to have, what?
They will be able to like afford that, because people play between football players and basketball players. Like, they make a lot of money for their colleges. Like, season tickets and people buying tickets and food and all that stuff. Like, like the money that they would end up paying them, it would probably be like come back and double probably.
Easy.
I was never like a big fan of like the schools directly paying the players, because I know like there's a lot of intricacies that fall into it, but definitely like they should be able to profit off their name and likeness. Like, come on now, like, it's your name. Like, I should be able to make money off my YouTube channel if it's popping, or I should be able to make money off these t-shirts I'm selling. You know what I mean?
Every other college student can do that, so why not me?
Exactly. It's just so dumb you're not allowed to.
Yeah, my biggest argument is like, okay, so if you a STEM student or a music student and somebody wants to pay you to participate in like a research study and pay you for it, or if you do gigs on the weekends at like the local club and they paying you, like, that is no different than an athlete going to like the local car dealership doing a commercial and then riding off the lot in a new car that they want to give them with the car dealership on the license plate, or like a sticker that on the back of the car that they advertise. I just don't think it's anything different.
Yeah, I think that would allow that would give a lot of people that, hey, maybe college basketball is all that you're gonna be able to get to. Like, not everyone goes to the pros. Most people don't go to the pros. Like, so if you're at a smaller school and you need to help financially support your family, like, you can do that. If you're at a smaller school, you'd still be able to like make these local commercials, or if there's an NBA or NCAA tournament game coming out soon, if they're going to use your school, then you'd be in there for the likeness. Like, I think it helps out a lot more people than it hurts by allowing you to do that. So I'm hoping that they change their mind on that pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
They put the bill.
All right, so
yeah.
I mean, it's not going to help any of us, because I'm graduating next year. Y'all two already graduated, so, but hopefully definitely help some of the younger guys that's coming in and getting recruited and that's already in school now. But I wanted to kind of move
when Josh Jr. goes to Duke, he's getting that job.
Oh, all right.
All right.
I kind of wanted to move forward to the NFL now, because the NFL is always in the news for some reason, even when it's not the season. And now the owners are trying to push forward new, I guess, incentives that will boost racial diversity in the league. And basically, you're incentivized with draft picks if you hire a GM or a head coach who is black or a minority, which I think I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's just dumb, because like it's a lot of, I don't know. I just think that you shouldn't have to be incentivized to hire somebody black. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's like it's now like you're taking that token black person to an ultimate thing. It's like, yeah, the only reason that we hired this guy is because we're gonna get an extra third round pick. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Like
And that's
just
my thing. Like
I
a
get the
black coach,
idea, but like, come on, man.
yeah, a black coach is worth a third rounder. Like, can't even be a first. Like, damn.
It's so like you're like what you're trying to say is like we need more diversity and we want people to be able to and we want to give people reason to have more diversity. It's like, okay, I get it, but you're forcing it on us. Like let it happen.
Yeah.
Like you have to hire like someone that's an African American coach because they're better, because there are people that are better. I mean, like we've seen that, not to get into it, but we've seen this with the Kaepernick thing. Like, I mean, he was genuinely better than some other quarterbacks. Like, I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but I think he was better than some of the quarterbacks in the league, but people didn't want him because of a certain reason. It's like,
yeah, at the time he was, but like
not now,
yeah,
like not now.
now,
I'm talking about then at the time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
That's a
I think
completely different thing.
at the time he definitely was one of the best 32 coaches. And I also think that there is a place.
Quarterback.
I mean, yeah, players. Yeah, best 32 quarterbacks. But I think there's definitely a place in pro football for black coaches, because I know from personal experiences that a lot of black players will have better connections and will be able to relate better to a black person being on the staff rather than like a old white dude telling you what to do all the time. And maybe it's just me, but it's personal experience.
Yeah. I mean, you listen to people that are like you a lot more, like people that have gone through similar things as you. Like I completely get that. And it's crazy because I actually did a research project on African American coaches in the NFL. And it showed, like my research found that there were hired at what is it, like 20% rate. And then when African American coaches are hired in a head coaching role or an assistant coaching role, they typically once they're fired, which happens a year or two earlier than white coaches, they're not getting rehired in other positions. Like it's like you get one shot, and if you can't do it, you're done. It's like,
yeah, that's facts.
It's like, what the hell? that's just screwed up.
Yeah, and we done seen some bullshit ass coaches get job after job, but we don't got to talk about it. Like I see like dudes like Mike Tomlin, like and Ron Rivera. I know like Mike Tomlin definitely on a little higher level than Ron Rivera, but they both had success. So I think that if you hire more minority coaches, like it's going to be more success. Like there's no reason Eric Bieniemy after the Super Bowl should not have gotten job offers this year. You know what I mean? The Cowboys job was open. I think he should have been looked at for that.
And you shouldn't have to be given a third round pick to do that. Like you should just know that's a thing to do.
That's for sure.
It's crazy, man. Oh man.
100%, bro. So do we want to move on to The Last Dance and kind of just talk about it a little bit? Like I know we talked about it a lot on here, but I don't know how much of it you watched, Colin, but it's a good documentary.
So I'm gonna be honest, I have not watched a ton of it. Like I think it's fine. Like it's all right. It's good. Like it's very well produced. Like I think they did a great job on it. It's just like I didn't really watch Jordan, obviously, because I was just too young. I didn't watch him, and so I just don't have as much of a connection to watching it. Like I think like the episodes that I had watched, I watched like episodes 1 and 2, and then I watched episodes like 4 and like I watched episodes 3 and 4. So I watched the first 2 days, and then like I kind of tailored off and didn't watch a ton. Oh wait, which one was the Kobe that where they said it was going to be like all about Kobe?
That was 5.
Yeah. So I watched that. They had like 5 minutes of it. Like I thought it was going to be all about him, but
and then they referred to him as that little Laker boy.
Yeah, that was crazy. But like, I think it is good to have something like that going on, like because there's no sports going on. But it just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I just wasn't feeling it. Well, how about y'all?
I finished it. I finished it last night. I watched the last 2 episodes last night, and it got me questioning my GOAT a little bit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Really?
Got me questioning my GOAT.
For me, I think it was a great documentary. But I'm a documentary guy anyway, so like you could show me a mediocre ass documentary and I'm probably gonna think it's like the best thing ever. But for me, it doesn't really change anything. Like I knew that he did all that and everything, and I'm a LeBron guy till I die. Like I'm gonna die on that LeBron hill, whether it's like a million of us or it's just me. Like I'm gonna die on that hill for sure. But I think it's just showing like a lot of inconsistencies as far as sports media goes with LeBron. But I guess that's another topic for another day.
LeBron though, like did y'all see the poll they put out? Did any of y'all? I don't know if any of y'all.
Oh, that's the SVP.
Yeah. So basically, 600 people, from the ages of like 18 to like above like 60, I guess, like took a poll and basically like said what like in each category, who's better. So Michael Jordan was better. They said Michael Jordan was better scorer, passer, defense, image, all this other bullshit. Like Bron's clearly a better passer. Clearly, my man has a school. He did the fucking graduation shit on Friday, and he's just like a better overall player. I think like Jordan's a better scorer and stuff like that. But I don't know. But like I don't know. I think it's just biased because like we're like prisoners of the moment. Like this like documentary's been going on for the past 5 weeks, and everyone's been seeing Jordan. So like obviously everyone's going to pick him.
I would like to point out the fact that if you really take a look at the defense that was being played by the Bulls, they were like one of the best defensive teams ever. Not taking that away, but if you really take a look at it, it was always Scottie and Dennis that was guarding the top two players on other teams. Mike was usually getting the second or third best players depending on matchups, but Scottie or Dennis was always most of the time always going to take the best offensive player on the other team. But they don't want to talk about that though.
So what's your point?
My point is Brown was out there sitting in the chair on in his prime, guarding number one every night. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I think that
I don't understand your point, but okay.
I think people are going to be having this exact same discussion in 10 years when the LeBron documentary comes out. Yeah. Like, I mean, people, like when that happens, because it's going to be the same thing. People are going to be like, dang, like I didn't realize how good LeBron was. When the next person that's, going to be considered the GOAT in 10, 15 years, like comes out, like the next LeBron James or the next whatever it might be, like people are going to be like, dang, that guy was crazy. And then they'll be like, oh no, LeBron really went off. So it all comes full circle. Like people are going to be saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When the Kobe one comes out, they're going to do the exact same shit.
Exactly. They're going to be like,
Kobe one might be like a little bit more emotional for obvious reasons. But yeah, I just think that people tend to play prisoner of the moment, which is cool. And it kind of also gets us to our next point. And I think Josh going to take point on this one. The whole Twitter scandal that's been going on under our noses that we might not really know about.
All right. Have y'all be like following like popular Twitter accounts and shit, and like now they just like gone, like everyone's seen that on Twitter? Or
wait, no, tell me about it a little bit.
Okay. So apparently this bull named Spazio Twat on Twitter, he's been like apparently getting all these like popular Twitter accounts out of here. Like he thinks like every popular like Twitter account like has like bot followers, and like he's the only authentic one, and that he like everyone on Twitter should be like him. But then like this nigga's still like just like putting out like racist and sexist tweets and shit on his Twitter. And so like during like the purge of like everyone's Twitter's account, like everyone was getting suspended. He only got suspended for like 2 hours. So then we found this video on Twitter, and basically the VP of Twitter safety and support, Nadell Harvey, some chick, he like basically knows her, and he's been like contacting her to like get certain Twitter accounts suspended, and no one from like the safety is getting any like contact with these people, and they're basically like how the hell, what did I do basically, and then they're not getting no contact back. But then also in the video, he has like some source that contacted the Spazio guy, and basically like he's like bragging how like he can get like all these popular accounts suspended and all this shit. So basically like Twitter like support is like doing some crooked shit with like popular accounts on Twitter. And like I thought it was just like the black accounts, so I thought they like do some racial shit too. But I found out like the white people who got like funny accounts, like they shit's getting hacked, like getting
so this is
basically
like those meme accounts and stuff.
Yeah,
like
basically, yeah.
Okay, got you.
So basically, it was just anybody who he didn't like.
Yeah, basically, who like anyone he thought like was like more popular than him, he got them suspended.
That's stupid.
So I don't know, like y'all probably don't follow like me and Geef like are on Twitter all the time, like sending like tweets back and forth. Like some are like popular like people that we watch on Twitter, like all they shit got suspended.
Who's like someone that got suspended?
Do you know the bull Oprah Side? Like
OSN?
Yeah, OSN.
Yeah, he got suspended.
He got suspended. A couple other funny bulls that I know. Like I got the whole list. I can send it to you after. But like it's at least like 30, 40, and it's probably more. It's like I just saw like the black like people that had it, but I don't know about like other people who got like shit like that. But like, how do y'all feel about it? Like that's like Twitter on some crooked shit right now.
I think that's wild. Like you shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, like that.
One person come at you and be like, "Hey, I don't like these accounts, so like they gotta be suspended." Like the fuck? Like how does that work?
It shouldn't work at all. Like
no.
Yeah. And so when I was,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, one person can just do that. Like, how does he have that much power?
Because he knows. Because he knows the VIP of safety of Twitter safety and support, and so he just texting her like, "Oh, get rid of this account," and she's like, "All right, bet I got you."
That's loony.
That's yeah. So to my understanding, like when I was doing like research before the pod, like on this part, like I was watching this video on YouTube, and the dude basically explained that like whenever this Spacio dude would like see something that he didn't like on Twitter, he would spam that person's like mentions with like adding Twitter support and adding the chick that's like the VP of safety on Twitter, and like immediately after he did it, the page would be like suspended indefinitely. Like nobody, like you probably just wouldn't hear from him. Like, and it's like it happened like a lot, but like we wouldn't notice because like we follow so many different things that like a few people getting suspended probably wouldn't like go onto our radar. But like the fact that it's happening is crazy.
And it's happening in numbers. It's not even like a little bit. It's like everybody that you think like is popular. That's crazy.
People are weird, man. Like, just let other people be great. There's enough stuff around. Like, you don't have to be trying to get other people suspended. I mean, did he get suspended? It looked like I couldn't find his account on Twitter.
Yeah, he got suspended for like 2 hours. I don't know. Well, I haven't checked in a while. I saw this on like Thursday, I think.
Yeah, and they also said like that the dude Spacio had some tweets that would typically get you suspended from Twitter.
Yeah, he out here talking about like racist stuff. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. But like
but which is weird, like that he didn't get suspended, but like everybody else just being funny got suspended. I don't know. I just think this is like it's kind of stupid, to be honest. Like what are you gaining from this? Like are you on some kind of power trip?
That's like that what is it, the Snoop Dogg thing? Like what do you gain from that?
Dude.
Like it must be a power trip or something. Like that's gotta be
like
oh yeah, he did get his drone got deactivated.
Yeah, I hope that VP chick gets fired too, because like how you just gonna be like a part of that and then think everything is okay?
He said, "Fuck those Mexican Muslims, man. Fuck them." Wow.
Whoa!
Wow!
Out of pocket. That's crazy.
SDP listeners, those are the views of Spacio on Twitter and not the SDP.
Yeah, make sure you let them know.
Yeah. Also, those are not the views of Innovators Anonymous either.
No.
That's his view.
That is Spazio, not mine for sure.
All right.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy, bro. So, I guess we can move on from that. Colin, I know you're a big music fan, and since this whole quarantine happened, a lot of new music been dropping and everything like that. So, I just wanted to take a little moment to talk about all the new music and stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
What you been listening to?
That's a great question. Let me pull it up real quick. So, some guys that I've really been getting into recently, like I really like Ian Dior. I don't know if any of you guys are listening to him.
I feel like I heard that name.
I think I heard the name. Do a lot of his songs get on TikTok?
He's got like two or three of his songs have been on TikTok, but yeah, I like him. Like I've been getting back into a boogie. I've been going back into like my old the 2015, 2016 days. Like I've been listening to him a little bit. I was always a huge Juice WRLD fan, so I'm always listening to him. Still to this day, I still can't believe it. Still astonished, but yeah, that's what my main playlist is. Like I'm listening to a lot of like Juice WRLD or like Juice WRLD-esque rappers. I do have a couple other hot takes on there, but that's kind of what I've been listening to.
Kayla?
I'm kind of doing the same thing. Like I've been trying to get on Spotify and find like a throwback playlist, just because like I'm so tired of hearing all the same shit lately, like all the songs from TikTok and whatever. Like I like I like a decent amount of them, but I'm trying to get back into like the throwback music just because I need a change of everything.
I feel you, Gabe.
You know me, man. I'm a Drake dude to the core. Future. Obviously, been listening to a lot of Nate Runner. And you know me, man. Just a lot of throwback stuff. I'm more of a purist in that way. Like I like a lot of old stuff. Like
he said, purist.
I was the only one.
Purist.
Yeah. I'm like a little.
I had a rock sometime, but like I just looking. Me and Kayla like give each other a look when he said like stupid shit like that. And Colin wasn't letting him rock.
Really said purist.
Like
you keep it up. What you saying?
I'm in the sense that like I'm like an old head, and I'm like, yeah, some of the old shit definitely better than what y'all young niggas listening to, but yeah, stuff like that. But I just keep it simple. You know what I mean? Josh.
I'll be listening to, I just still on that OVO sound, like Division and Part Next Door, Drake, like all the niggas. And then Future shit, that's my shit right now. I'm not gonna lie.
That's definitely been revisiting the Future album. Colin, I saw you had some heat for Future on the timeline too, man. What's up with that, bro?
I did see that.
Future is trash. Like so let me get my piece out. So like with Future, he has had some really, I think he's a really good feature artist. Like I think he does very well on the features. I started growing closer to it. But like The Life is Good, that was really great. I think if you're reading this, It's Too Late, Party with Drake, like that was really good. Like I think he did really well, but he can't maintain his sound and what he does for an entire album. Like I just don't like, he doesn't talk about enough stuff. He can't change up his flow enough. Like he just can't maintain it for 8, 10, 16 songs. Like Dirty Sprite 2 was his last good album, in my opinion.
I see exactly what you mean. Like it sounded like the album he put out did sound like it was all the same song over and over again. Besides like a couple of like the features he had, like NBA YoungBoy and Drake and Travis Scott, and like a couple here and there.
Yeah,
it's like I can see what you're saying, but like I think that he's like just so versatile. Like he can get into his R&B bag, he can get into his rap bag, whatever he needs to do.
And I think a lot of the time nowadays, artists don't put together albums to be cohesive and like tell a story or anything like that. I think they put together albums and they just be like a compilation of songs that they recorded
And they're mixtapes, they're not albums.
And whatever streams well from the album is going to stream well. That's why you see artists doing like 20-song albums now, because it's for streaming. It's to get those streaming numbers. It's not to be a good album. Like they like, all right, here's 20 songs, and whatever you want to put on your playlist or whatever Spotify wants to put on the Friday playlist, just go ahead and do it. Like it's not, they don't do it for quality.
Which is why I don't like it. Because if you said it, like, you don't do it for quality. It's like, I'd rather it be a short, like, just me personally, I'd rather listen to a shorter like album where it doesn't have to be a story. Like, you don't have to tell like a story, but something where it's like, it's different at least, or you're trying to carry it through. Like, personally, like Chris Brown albums, I hate them. Dude puts together 100-song albums, and 2 of the songs are good. It's like, you're batting 20%. Fuck out of here. Like, like, what is you doing? It's like, that's why, like, I just can't handle that type of stuff.
Yeah, Chris Brown. I love Chris Brown, but like, if Chris Brown would cut any of his albums that he's released in the past 5 years down to about 10, 15 songs, I think he got some classics. Cause like, it's heat in a lot of those albums. But if you give me 10 tracks out of 40 that's hot, then like, it's a bullshit album.
You may not even get to the 10 because they all the way down at the bottom. Like,
bro, shit.
It's
I remember I listened to Heartbreak on a Full Moon in its entirety, but that was just like after going through a breakup. So I was literally sitting in my dorm. Sitting in my dorm playing 2K.
You cool?
No,
you all right, man?
Bro, you cool, bro?
This is 2 years ago. Like I was sitting in my dorm, okay, lights off, speaker. I was like, fuck it, might as well get this Chris Brown and try, bro.
Going through it.
I am so done with you right now. It's not even funny.
All right, but like, listen, this is what happened. Like, I was a little shaken up by it, but you know, I was given some advice, and I was like, it said take a little bit of time to feel all your emotions and then let it go. So that's what I did. I took 2 hours, listened to the album, and let it go.
You can't finish that album in 2 hours, bro.
The album was about 2.5.
2.5 hours listening to Chris Brown?
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
Bro, it's a 3 hour and 18-minute album. Get out.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's how long I was in my bag? All right, so I had a 3 hour period.
Bro,
that's the Titanic. Bro. You just watched the Titanic. Get out of here.
He said he played 2K and listened to Chris Brown for 3.5 hours.
My player better be 97, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't even think about eating in that time either, bro. And you know me.
Damn, bro. You didn't even text me nothing? I didn't know about this.
You were deep,
bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
I had to get my bag, bro. I had to get it.
That's crazy. Like,
let's get out of Geeb's bag and let's talk about this bitch nigga Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What about?
I haven't listened to his song, anything. I don't think I will never listen to any of his songs. Every single time he comes on, I will leave the room. What'd you say, Kayla?
He has like a couple that like aren't too bad, and then the one song he does with Nicki Minaj like isn't too bad either. I saw him at Made in America the one year. First of all, he was like a few hours late, so we all had to stand there and wait for him. But once he did come out, like he did put on a pretty good show. I will give him that. But other than that, in his few select songs, like I can't do it.
I just won't I was cool with his music like before, like he went to jail and snitching and everything. But like now, like I'm cool off it. I'm not supporting
the new one is not good.
Yeah,
no. I think he plays up that snitching. Like he knows about that people are gonna like make fun of him for snitching too much
and listen to shit. Yeah.
It's like once you're that self-aware about it, it's like it's not as fun. Like it was funnier like before he went to jail and everything because people were making fun of him, but he wasn't playing it up, and now he's like playing it up, and on top of just being like a bad person, like so it's just not as good. Like some of his like whoever makes his beats, like some of them people like they made some hits. Like
they did definitely just the beats. Like the shit that he be saying is
just take him off.
Oh like, no, it don't.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to what he say, like he said that he couldn't rap. He said that like that he's not a good rapper, but he know how to make a hit. And I think that people are like feeding into him a little bit too much right now because, all right, we get it. You don't like snitches, but you still giving him all this energy and all this attention. He knows that, so he gonna feed off of that. And I just think that if people would stop giving him this attention that he wants, then you won't hear from him. But the fact that he had 2 million people in his live, it tells me everything I need to know. People are gonna be checking for him regardless.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? It's like a car crash. Like when you're driving, like you don't want to see it, but people are gonna slow down and try to watch that. Like you know it, and so it's just like I don't know. I think hot take. I think he's a lot like Kodak Black, where they both get fire beats, but like they just aren't as great on it for something. That's just me.
Kodak, my nigga. I
like
Kodak's
Kodak.
better than Tekashi. Like Kodak's better than 6ix9ine, but like I think it's where the beat carries them a little more than what they are.
I can see
I
what
can
you're saying,
definitely see that.
No, but I think Kodak got a flow, and sometimes he got like bars that when he really spit. You know what I mean? But what'd you say, Colin?
No, I say he can say something like no, like he's good. Like what's y'all? Ooh, this is a good one. What's y'all opinion on 6ix9ine saying nigga all the time?
I mean, he Hispanic, so
It bothers me in general.
I mean, I let it slide. He's Hispanic.
So you give him a pass?
Hispanic, bro. Like I like if Hispanic, like a Hispanic person said nigga to me, I wouldn't like take it anyway.
Listen, if all them quote unquote bloods had no issue with him saying it this whole time, then I don't have no issue with it. And that's also another thing. Like I kind of blame the dudes that like they allow him to go on with this persona. Like a lot of people are affiliated with gangs but don't claim gangs, and they will never even think to do it. But they did allow him to like claim the gang when he wasn't a part of it. And he was sitting in on like staff meetings, like he knew everything that was going on. He wasn't supposed to be there. He was just supposed to be the front man, you know what I mean? But I do put a lot of responsibility on them. He should have never been that deep into it as he was.
Yeah. And on the topic, he gotta stop disrespecting Snoop, bro. And Meek Mill right at him, and
he disrespects everybody, bro. Like he doesn't.
Snoop, bro. Snoop a OG in the game, bro.
Yeah. I think the whole Meek thing, that's on Meek. I don't know why Meek want to keep on commenting on it. Like Meek, I understand like Meek is from that life. He lived that life. But at the same time, right now, Meek, your purpose is higher than worrying about what 6ix9ine doing post release from jail. Like you are on a good path, bro. Like, and it honestly is real corny on Meek's part for him to keep on going in on 6ix9ine like that, to be honest.
But I understand what you mean, but like he had to come up from that way, so he's not gonna just respect someone from like to like him that's gonna just keep profiting off of snitching. And
all right, but he had to respect it,
huh?
If you don't respect it, bro, then just don't comment on it, bro. Like they don't even have like the same.
So you're just supposed to just let him like just be out there, just saying whatever and doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Listen, people ask for this circus, bro. Like Tekashi gonna tell you exactly what he's going to do and do it. I don't know why people are surprised by this behavior. I really don't.
Everyone is promoting it in the rap game. Like niggas are not talking about
nobody was promoting it.
I was talking nobody who dropped some shit the other day. Lil Durk, I think, dropped some shit, and nobody's talking about his shit when 6ix9ine song dropped. They were more talking about 6ix9ine than Lil Durk shit. And Lil Durk is 10 times a rapper than 6ix9ine.
Well, 6ix9ine is also, for like I said, for however you feel about him, he's a genius. He knows how to get the needle moving in his direction. Whether there is value in hate. Even if you're gonna hate somebody, they're still relevant. He is great at making himself relevant.
Yeah, like the idea, like there's no such thing as bad publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. Like he takes that and runs with it. Like this man went to jail for snitching and or not for snitching, I guess for what was it?
Being part of the organization.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Organized crime.
Yeah, he went to jail for that. Like he's had so many different things that are just not great about his personality that he was accused of, and he still came out on the other side like with a top song. And I think it's because everybody's watching him right now because they want to see him like mess up. And like even people like that are listening to it that aren't his fans, like that's still a stream. Like he's like, I don't care if you like me or not. If you listen to it, that's still a stream. So he's like, hate me.
Yeah, it's like
you want to listen to me.
It's like the same thing that Ice Cube said. I don't know if y'all saw Straight Outta Compton, but like when they was on the tour bus and like all those old white people were like burning the NWA records, he was like, they still bought the motherfuckers. Like it's the same thing. Like they still streaming 6ix9ine. You feel me? Like it's your choice. It's your choice at the end of the day, where you allocate your energy to. So I can't really blame him for getting 2 million streams on his live, or like 17 million views on his video in 3 hours. It's not his fault that they was clicking.
Yeah, like he's trying to get streams and sell tickets or whatever it is, and people falling into it. He's like, I don't care if you listen to it because you hate me. Like you still listen to it. Like he's trying to get his bag, and I guess like, hey, more power to you.
Exactly. Fuck that nigga 6ix9ine. That's how I feel.
Yeah, bro. But I think this is a good place to start wrapping up. We will be doing another part of the podcast, but it's going to be on Colin's. So if there's anything y'all want to close with.
Yo, it's been real, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like in the future, and hopefully it can come back on sometime soon.
Yeah, Colin, I just wanted to thank you for taking your time, and I'm really excited to do yours now too.
For sure, man. For sure. Awesome. Well, it's been real, y'all.
And from the SDP, keep your distance always. We just finished recording the second part of this podcast over on Colin's, the Innovators Anonymous podcast. Make sure you guys go follow him on Instagram at that name. It was a great time. You guys can see that tomorrow. It'll be up wherever you stream podcasts. So go check it out.
You know the vibes.
And that's it.
Peace, y'all.
Kayla, why you make that face?
Got me where you
Take a look, Ashton.
Hey. Not an easy woman. Got 'em where you want 'em. You can never be the one, guys. Me. Front of gotta be the one up. Probably what you're showing. Gladly to go all the way if he's glowing like.